whenever I go out to shoot and I take my Sony, I'll take the Q3 or an X100, a Hasselblad, doesn't really matter which camera. But the moment I pick up that camera, I'm very much in photography mode. Now, my main priority when I'm out shooting is to have a good time. The second priority is to actually walk away with some decent photos. So when I'm in that mode, I am looking for light. I'm looking for color, composition, interesting subjects, etc, etc. But I'm looking at it from like an artistic perspective where, okay, let's see if I can get a nice shot. I'm not looking at it from this is a really good day out, let's try to make some memories and to take some photos that I would look back on and think, God, that was a really nice day, that was a really good time. You know, as much as I love some of my favorite photos, and they do evoke memories for me, they still don't mean as much from a personal perspective compared to some photos of when me and my girlfriend traveled in some parts of Okinawa, or like photos that I won't necessarily share online, but I would kind of share it within, you know, family or close friends, or just to sit back and look on in a few years' time. And this is where a camera like this, I think, can come in very useful. Because when I bought the GR4, this was the primary reason for it. I don't want to use this camera for any serious photography. This is something that I will have on me and use it for these little snapshot moments. Think of this as like a scanner. Now, either the previous video or a couple of videos ago, I said the same thing about my iPhone, and technically it does that job very well. But as I've concluded in that video, I just hate having a phone in my hands, and I just enjoy having something like this, something physical that has one purpose and one purpose only. So in this video, we've got about 48 hours in Barcelona, and I will be taking some very rubbish photos because these photos are for my own memories and not to showcase my photography skills. But maybe you'll enjoy it, I don't know. I'll talk about the GR4 bit as well. Oh. Okay, let's go. Wow. One thing I want to make clear though is you don't need to have such an expensive point and shoot like the Rico. This particular camera can be a little point and shoot from 2003 that you picked up for $80 on eBay. It could be your phone, it could be anything really, even an action camera if you so wish. The whole point of this video isn't about trying to sell you a camera. That's the last thing I ever want to do. Instead, it's about encouraging you to find a camera in your arsenal of cameras that you might already own that you can use for this purpose. About to destroy this. Time to get fat. Now, typically when I'm out shooting, I'll be looking for light. I'll be looking for compositions, color, anything that really kind of triggers me, or anything I can use as an anchor to then build a photo around. But with this approach, I'm throwing all that out the window, and I am going for purely gut feeling based snapshotting. So if I see something, I think, oh, I'm gonna take a picture of it. It's flower pots. Like, I don't know, I just don't overthink it. And the whole idea of this is just anything that remotely looks interesting, or I think, oh, let me just take a picture of that. That's the approach I'm going with. So light's gone out the window, composition's gone out the window, everything's gone out of the window. I don't want the photos from this camera to feel like a curated body of work where a lot of thought has gone into. I want it to just look very sporadic, very chaotic, very, I don't know, like, how can I explain? It's a bit like if you have a journal and a calendar. In the calendar, everything is organized, structured, planned. But a journal is almost like all your thoughts go in. You might have some stickers, like the old tickets from an airplane, or just random stuff like that. So that's how I want this photography to feel with this camera. Another good way to put it is that this camera is like a tool that I use to create a visual journal. So how some people have actual journals to write in, this going forward is gonna be my journal. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Even though there's no kind of direction to my photography and there's just general snapshotting, looking back at the images I've taken, there's definitely a bit of a theme going on. So windows, plant pots, plants, street art, textures, and just generally trying to capture like what it feels like for me to be here, as opposed to, is that going to be a pretty photo or a photo of a story or whatever you want to call it. So it's more kind of like I'm walking down the street, what actually catches my eye? That seems to be what I'm gravitating to the most. Also like interiors, cafes, food inside a market. I typically wouldn't really take these photos if I'm out with the sole purpose of getting good shots, or the shots that, let's just say, I'm known for. So yeah, this is really fun. Maybe the future is a mix of what I am known for and this kind of stuff. I don't know. What I would say though is I am shooting in RAW, and I will be editing these photos because I still want them to feel like mine. And even though the Rico has quite a few like film simulations and recipes, which, I mean, they look quite good. I've not really tested them that much, but they look alright. They still wouldn't feel like my photos. So there will still be editing, there'll still be a bit of cropping and all the usual editing that I would do to my normal images, I would do with these as well.
All right, let's have a quick chat about the Rico. So this isn't even a first impression because I've literally used this camera once. I need a lot more time with it before I can say anything more constructive. Of course, this isn't sponsored in any way. Even though I chat with Rico now and again on Instagram, we've never really worked together on anything. Sorry, got sore throat. We never really worked together, so yeah, not sponsored at all. I paid for this with my own money. Overall, I am very happy with this. I used to have the GR3 and the GR3X, and initially I got the GR3X because I prefer the 40mm focal length. That's just my preferred focal length for my type of photography. But I find that this camera is actually more suited to the wider focal length, which is around 28mm in full frame, because that makes it perfect for kind of the snapshotting and the main reason that I got this camera. When they bring out the X, I would probably pick it up because it's a very useful street photography camera, especially as a backup when you're traveling. But for the purpose of this video, I'm very happy with this. There are a couple of accessories, or sorry, 3 accessories that I have on this. The first one is a wrist strap, but with like a little plastic thing which holds it onto your wrist. I believe the one that comes with the camera doesn't have it, so it's quite easy for it to fall off. I have the Rico flash. I've not used that yet actually, but I've got it because it's so small, and again, for these types of things, I want to use the flash a bit more. And I've got this lens cap, which is just from Amazon. It was a few quid, and it's there, so when this camera is in my bag with all my other things, the actual sensitive, or delicate should I say, element on the front here doesn't get damaged. In general, I am very happy with the camera. It's, you know, if you have the GR3, it's probably not the biggest update in the world. Some people prefer the new exposure controls here. I am very neutral. I wasn't against the previous system at all. I thought it was absolutely fine and it worked for me, but if anything, I actually change the exposure a bit easier here because my thumb goes here. But there you go. Other than that, yeah, if you have the GR3, my initial day one impressions, having used it literally for like a couple of days, there isn't a huge upgrade. Yes, the internal memory is nice, but then you also get a micro SD card instead of an SD card, so that could be a pain. The battery is different, which gives you more battery life. I can't say I've really noticed it. It was an all-day battery life, and then I'll have a spare one in my bag, but it's annoying because if you already have, you know, the ecosystem of batteries and a charger from the previous generation, all of that now is obsolete and you have to sell it and buy new stuff. And that, I really hate when that happens because it just creates more waste and more plastic and more accessories and chargers and batteries that, again, yeah, it's one of those. Other than that, yeah, it's fine. It's a good camera, but please stay tuned. There will be a dedicated video to this camera where I share more of a kind of a review style opinion after some time, and there'll be blogs and all that kind of stuff. Of course, there will be a camera guide coming out for the GR4 at some point in the future. The GR3 guide is already out. Many of you have purchased it and have given me good feedback, so thank you very much. But that's it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Leave your comments down below and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. At this point, I want to quickly thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've been a paying customer way before they supported the channel and have now been using their services for over 5 years. Squarespace is at the center of my online presence and it's what drives my blog, portfolio, store and newsletter. I appreciate the simplicity of managing everything from a single app because it saves me time and gives me peace of mind knowing that I can make changes or deal with issues from my phone. If you have a business, a side hustle, or simply want your own little corner of the internet to host your photography or build something big, Squarespace offers all the tools you need across all devices. If you want to learn more, get a free trial and then 10% off your first purchase, use the link in the description or enter code RomanFox at checkout. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.